several-month formal investigation.
Okay, Manny Gallegos in State College, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much. And joining us now with insight on how to spot a possible sex offender is retired FBI profiler and sex crimes expert Jim Clemente. He is now a writer for Criminal Minds in CBS, and he joined us this morning from our Los Angeles bureau. Jim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Russ.
We're going to begin with a clip from an interview this week that Jerry Sandusky gave to Bob Costas. A very interesting, revealing interview. Let's take a listen.
Are you sexually attracted to young boys, to underage boys?
Am I sexually attracted to underage boys? Sexually attracted? You know, no, I enjoy young people. I love to be around them.
Sandusky went on to say that he is not sexually attracted to young boys. Jim, let me ask you, what did that answer say to you?
Well, the first thing it tells me is that he's trying to avoid the question. He's repeating the question to get time to think of an appropriate answer that he thinks will pass muster. He's also showing that basically he's deceiving when he answers that question, because he can't just spontaneously answer it. He then also goes on to say, change it from underage boys to young people. He's trying to distance himself from actually the things that he did and that are described in the allegations.
As you watched that interview, which again, I found, a lot of us found extraordinary, what else stood out for you?
Well, I think one of the other things, when he was asked about the McQuarrie allegations, he basically blames the kid. He basically says, well, we were in the shower and the kid turned on all the showers and he was sliding around, blaming a child for acting like a child. And then he goes on to say that we were, as I recall, possibly snapping towels. He can't even buy into his own lies. He's deceiving people. He's coming up with a story that he hopes he can prove or somebody can't disprove, and he's not even buying into it himself. It's just very disturbing.
Of course, this will all be settled in court at some point, but when you look at that grand jury report and when you see the interview and when you hear what some of these victims are saying, I mean, what do you think? Does Sandusky, does he have the characteristics of a child sex offender?
Well, if these allegations are true, he certainly does. First of all, these allegations are extremely strong. In most cases like this, it's just the children's word against the offender or the alleged offender. In this case, there are a number of cross-corroborations between the children. There's corroborations from adult witnesses who saw various acts over time, over a long period of time. And those are some of the major characteristics, the hallmarks of a child preferential sex offender. First one being a long-term persistent pattern of behavior, and certainly the allegations cross a great span of time in this case. He has specific sexual interests. He's interested in, apparently, pre-adolescent boys. He's got well-developed techniques to get access to these kids, and he's exhibiting fantasy and desire-driven behavior. So he has all the hallmarks of a preferential child sex offender.
Jim, let me ask you this. What signs can parents look for if they are worried about a relationship that their child may be having with a parental figure?
Well, what they should look for is people who want to spend more time with their children outside of the program. Basically, if they're seeing an adult who is asking the child on trips, asking to have him come over for overnight stays, even spending too much time with the child, adults typically get tired of being around young children. I mean, children are sort of like puppies. They're cute and they're playful, but after a while they start chewing on things. They start getting in your way, and so the average adult will want to distance himself from a child that isn't their own child. In this case, this guy is described as just a big kid, as loving children and so forth, and those kinds of things should be sort of red flags for parents.
I see. Jim Clemente, as always, we thank you so much for your insight. You take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Russ.
And now it's time for more of this morning's headlines, and for that, let's go back.